Hi, welcome back. The monk who sold his Ferrari is a spiritual fable that blends life wisdom with a compelling fictional narrative. The story revolves around Julian Montel, a high paying hotshot lawyer who seemingly has everything wealth, fame, and luxurious lifestyle symbolized by his red Ferrari. However, a dramatic heart attack in middle of a courtroom forces Julian to face the emptiness behind his material success. He disappears from public life only to return months later as a transformed man, radiating peace, vitality, and profound wisdom. The wake up call. The book begins with Julian's sudden collapse and ensuing decision to abandon his career and possessions. He sells his mansion, his Ferrari, and retreats to India in search of meaning and purpose. His friend and former colleague John is stunned when Julian returns not as a broken man but as someone renewed, dressed in a simple clothes and looking much younger and healthier. Julian begins to share the story of his spiritual awakening in the Himalayas. The mysterious journey. Julian recounts his journey into the mystical land of Sivana, nestled in the Himalayan mountains. There, he meets a group of sages called Sages of Sivana, who live in complete harmony with themselves and nature. Led by a wise yogi Ramana, the sages teach Julian timeless lessons for mastering the mind, body, and soul. These teachings are based on ancient principles that have been passed down for centuries and aim to help individuals live with a great purpose, clarity, and joy. The garden metaphor. Julian introduces the metaphor of a lush, beautiful garden which represents the human mind. Yogi Ramana teaches him that the mind is like a garden. If you cultivate with a positive thought, it will flourish. But if you let weeds take root, it will decay. Mastery of the mind is the first key to joyful life. One must guard the mind vigilantly, practice daily meditation, and feed it with a nourishing thought. Through visualization and positive affirmation, one can achieve mental strength and clarity. Purpose and Dharma. Next, the sage teaches importance of discovering one's life purpose or Dharma. Everyone is born with a unique mission and fulfillment comes from pursuing it with a passion and dedication. The key is to listen to the heart and follow what brings joy and meaning. Julian learns techniques like five-step method for attaining goals, which includes clear visualization, developing faith, setting timelines, and applying consistent efforts. This chapter emphasizes that fulfillment comes not from chasing money or status, but from serving others through one's true calling. Kaizen, constant self-mastery. The next lesson is the principle of Kaizen, which means constant and never-ending improvement. The sages stress the personal growth is the foundation of a fulfilling life. This involves stretching one's comfort zone, facing fears, and persistently refining character. Discipline is crucial, and small daily acts of self mastery, such as rising early, exercising, and reading, build inner strength. Julian is taught how challenges and setbacks are opportunities for growth, not obstacles to fear. The power of discipline. Discipline is further cultivated through teachings such as the 10 rituals of radiant living. These include practices like early rising, solitude, nourishing the body with a good food, and engaging in daily acts of kindness. One of the most important ritual is the ritual of personal reflection, where individuals are encouraged to take time each day to reflect on their action and decisions. This self-awareness promotes accountability and align actions with the values. Respecting time. Time is portrayed as a most precious commodity. Julian learns that highly effective people value time like gold and use it intentionally. The sages teach the ancient rule of 20, which means dedicating at least 20 minutes a day to self renewal, planning the day in advance, eliminating distractions, and saying no to what does not serve one's purpose are essential habits. Julian reflects on how much of his past life was wasted on trivial pursuits and how reconstructing his day has brought him clarity and peace. Self-service. Living life of selfless service is another essential teaching. Real happiness comes from giving and from living for something greater than oneself. Julian learns the contribution brings deep joy in a path to immortality, not in a literal sense, but through the positive impact one leaves behind. Act of kindness, mentoring others, and living in alignment with the truth and integrity brings lasting satisfaction. Embracing the present. Finally, Julian shares insights about living in present moment. He explains how much of human suffering stems from regrets about past or anxiety about the future. Mindfulness or full presence in the now is a skill that must be developed. Meditation and conscious breathing help anchor the mind in present. When one fully embraces the now, life becomes richer, more vivid, and deeply meaningful. Julian's transformation and final lesson. Julian's story ends with a message of hope. He urges John and by extension the reader to take charge of their life and apply the principle he has shared. Change does not come overnight, but with a daily discipline and inner conviction. Anyone can transform. The Ferrari becomes a metaphor not just the material possession, but for the life we build. We can choose to drive towards spiritual emptiness or towards meaning, balance, and inner peace. In essence, the monk who sold his Ferrari is a guide to purposeful living, told through a simple story that reflects a profound spiritual truth. Through Julian's journey, readers are invited to reflect on their own lives, to declutter their minds, honor their time, pursue their calling, and live with the intention and joy. The book does not preach renunciation of material lives, but rather encourages harmony between success and inner fulfillment. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Thanks again.